Good morning, guys. We're back to finish up the analyzing a key individual, event, or idea in informational text. We're in the last two questions here. Why does the author include the fact that the boycott led to similar protests in other southern cities? So why does the author include the part about how other cities started having protests similar to what happened in Montgomery? Is it to explain that African Americans in other southern cities were also treated unfairly? To show how one successful effort can lead to another and inspire change, to compare the bus boycott to other protests in the South, or to prove that problems can usually be solved by peaceful means. All right, let's look at the first one here. So were other African Americans treated unfairly in other cities? Yes. But this one leaves out the part about the protests, right? It doesn't say that they did anything about it. To show how one successful effort, like the bus boycott, can lead to another, like other protests in other places, and inspire change. I like that one. To compare the bus boycott to other protests in the South. Well, they said other protests happened, but it didn't tell us what those were and didn't really compare them to each other, see like which one was more successful, didn't give us any additional information. To prove that problems can usually be solved by peaceful means. While these protests were nonviolent and did help to solve this problem, that doesn't really explain why they started to do these in other cities and why the author included that fact. I think the best option here is how one successful effort can lead to another and inspire change. Nope, sorry, click next. And we're on to our last question. Why did the author include the last sentence about Martin Luther King Jr.? Well, you all know already I'm going to the exact last sentence in there, but I'm going to read the answer choices first. To show that the boycott was the start of his career, to set the stage for his later winning the Nobel Peace Prize, to show that no one else was willing to lead the fight for civil rights, or to connect his early death to his work fighting for civil rights. So I'm going to go to the last sentence in the text, which says, and Martin Luther King Jr. emerged as a leader in the fight for civil rights. Emerged being the key word here. So, was the boycott the start of his career? Well, if he's emerging, that means it's beginning, it's starting. So that sounds good with using the word emerged, going with starting his career. To set the stage for his later winning the Nobel Peace Prize, they didn't mention anything about where his career was going and how successful he would be and that he would win the Nobel Peace Prize. To show that no one else was willing to lead the fight for civil rights. Saying that he started becoming a leader in this doesn't mean that no one else did. Other people were also leaders in this time. To connect his early death to his work fighting for civil rights. In the text so far, we don't know that he actually ended up dying earlier on in his life. So the best option being to show that the boycott was the start of his career. All right, and now we're all done with this lesson. I'll see you guys later.